time out of this cold wintry morning. Today I want to talk about the Toronto real estate market again. Um, and I know it's a couple hour drive from where we are right now, over 150 kilometers away. But the Toronto real estate market does directly affect what happens to our local market. So many people in the GTA are selling and moving north to retire, semi-retire. With today's technology, they can come up here, work up here for 2 days a week, or out of their house, maybe go down to the city for 2 or 3 days of the week, and have a much better quality of life living up here than being right downtown Toronto every day. Um, that can drive our sales and our prices up or down depending on the direction that the Toronto market is going. Um, so in saying all this, the Toronto market may help us forecast our own future in regards to the selling prices and the length of time it takes to sell our properties. We always seem to be lagging, at least 6 months to a year behind what's really happening in the Toronto market. For example, October 2019 has seen the Toronto real estate market continue to tighten. New listings in Toronto fell 9.6%. The average home price rose 5.5% year over year. And the Financial Post has described the Toronto real estate sales as the highest jump since December 2017, and that's the year that the Toronto real estate market had peaked. October 2019 seen sales in Toronto rise by 14% year over year. So what does that mean to us in Simcoe County in our small rural communities? Well, if history repeats itself, the market influences in Toronto today will start to have an effect on our market going into 2020, whether it's in the later part of the winter or the early spring. We typically see, like I say, 6 months to a year, effects of Toronto down the road. Toronto has been their market has continually seen an increase in pricing all year. There's been a decrease in the number of new listings all year, and that's starting to drive prices up. And with prices going back up, you'll see more people migrating and getting out of the city and heading north up into our areas. That will have an effect on our pricing here. If this is true and you're looking to purchase a home, now may be a great time to find a house before the house prices do continue to go up. If sales go up locally and listings go down, then prices will certainly go up here the same as they have in Toronto. You see with the 9.6% fewer listings, 14% more sales created a 5.5% increase in pricing, which is pretty significant year over year. If you're selling and moving up, now may be the time to do so. An example of this, if you were selling a $300,000 house and the market increased by 10%, your house would go up by $30,000. But if you were buying a $500,000 house, that $500,000 house is going to go up by $50,000. So if you're looking at moving up, this could be a great opportunity because right now you're taking advantage of these prices not being where they are. So you could in fact save $20,000 by making the move now before there is a shift in the market pricing. On the flip side of that, if you're selling to move down, you may be better off waiting until the spring and seeing what happens, because if the market goes up and goes up 10%, then the adverse effect's going to be there where you may save $20,000 by make $20,000 by selling your house for maybe 10% more. So if you're selling a $500,000 house and moving into a $300,000 home, you would be up by 20 grand by doing so. So that's something for somebody in that situation to consider as well. I don't have a crystal ball, and there could be any major world event that could have a significant impact on all of the economies throughout the world. I mean, there's trade wars going on, there's different things going on. Anything could have an impact. But if we're just looking at the facts of what typically happens when the Toronto market starts to move up or move down. Typically, we follow and we are behind anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on the time frame. So if all things remain constant, then I can see our market locally sales continuing to increase, listings, start becoming scarce again, and then we're going to start seeing prices increase, because that's the only thing that'll happen is once there's not enough listings and there's a strong demand by buyers, prices will increase. So I really hope that this helps give everybody an understanding of where I see the market kind of going over the next few months. And like I say, no one has a crystal ball, so no one can dictate whether this is going to kind of affect us, in the early part in January or February 2020, like it did in 2016. Like we really seen, we were kind of blindsided by the fact in 2016 that all of a sudden we couldn't find houses for buyers, and that continued right on through until 2018. So that could come back if all these factors remain constant. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really hope it gives you an idea of where I see the market heading. Please comment if there's anything else you'd like me to discuss or talk about. Please let me know. I'd really like to thank John for asking me to discuss this topic, because it is so important for our local market. And if you have any questions about this video, please feel free to give myself a call or one of my agents at 705-527-7877. Keep smiling and enjoy the blessings that come into your life each and every day. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.